Hello, classy people. Wayne Bolden. It is Tuesday evening. We are 3 days out from the World Championship for the Breeders' Cup. Let's do one more juvenile race this evening so we can turn our attention to the big races on Saturday. We just got finished doing the juvenile race for the boys. Now let's look at the juveniles for the girls. By the way, there's a special double. The juveniles for the boys going to the classic for Saturday, and the juvenile fillies going to the distaff on Saturday. So just a side note, one of those structuring wagering things we talked about. But let's dive right in. Of course, tip sheets are available for both days. One day is $20. You buy both Friday and Saturday at $35. It's a great way to show your support and love for your local Speed King for sure. Email us at speedking24@yahoo.com. Do want to thank all the people that have purchased them. Well, I don't want to take a long time on this race. It's race number 7 on the card for a cool, is it 2 million? Yeah, for 2 million, going a mile and 16. A bigger field than the boys. It's a field of 9. The boys is a field of 8. And once again, Todd Pletcher and Bob Baffert shows up loaded for bear. So in both of the two-year-old races, the juvenile and then the juvenile filly, Bob Baffert and Todd Pletcher leads the band with the top 2 favorite and co-favorite in here. For sure, over there in the juvenile, of course, Ted Noffy's over there. The number 8 horse, and Bob Baffert has Brett, right? Brett has to answer the question of 2 turns over there, and here it flips. Todd Pletcher's horse, Tommy Joe, is going to have to answer the question of the 2 turns, because in the last race in the Alcibiades, where she got put up, because Percy Barr came out, she wasn't going by that horse. So it may be a limitation on distance. Now, you wouldn't think that, because Tommy Joe 7-2 in the filly race is by Intermission on the back end by Pioneer of the Nile, who was by Empire Maker, trained by Bobby Franco, by the way. And but it's a full field of girls here in the juvenile fillies. I don't know. I think Baffert has the edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the number 7 as our top pick, Explorer. 5-2 on the morning line. Very, very speedy. I don't think she's faster than Tommy Joe out the gate, but she's fast enough to be right in her hip pocket, So I think these 2 horses will break 1-2 for sure. I think they're going to get some pressure from the inside horse, the number 1 horse, Arn Orchard, and of course the horse on the outside, Super Corindor, is pretty fast. So it's going to be pretty speedy up front, if you ask me. But my top pick is going to be the Bob Baffert horse. I mean, I don't pick a lot of Bob Baffert horses, but this horse comes up very, very nice. Explorer, right? Juan Hernandez, his regular boy, is up. The horse is by Blaine. Yes, that Blaine. Well, so we know the bloodline has been just fantastic. On the back end, grandsire is Bernardini. So how much better can the 7 horse be bred? Can't be bred any better than that. And 5-2 is not a horrible price on the probabilities and of this horse winning. Like I said, we'll be in the first flank. We'll have a beautiful post position down the backstretch, if you ask me. Juan Hernandez is the master out there in California, so he knows his way around, obviously, clicking at 26%. Him and Bob together are about 42%. So my top pick here in the juvenile filly is the number 7 horse, Explorer. Right, our second pick, well, again, I kid you not, have Tommy Joe at 7-2. That's a really good price on that horse. Right now, maybe she just wasn't at the top of her game. She should have been. It was only third start in the Alcibiades, where she didn't look good coming down the lane in terms of stamina, right? She looked a little weary, and she wasn't never, in my opinion, going by Percy Barr. But the fact is, Percy Barr hit her. Well, the number 5 horse trained by Pletcher with Johnny V in the yarn, who's sitting on a huge weekend, of course, is by Into Mischief, the same as Ted Nafi, and it's a spendthrift horse, right? So there's your connection. This one is also undefeated, 3 starts, three wins. What a wealth of riches that Todd Pletcher has for sure, and 7-2. So I got to make her the second pick, and maybe the horse to beat. Okay, the only question is that Alcibiade. Man, she looked weary that last 16th of a mile, and but that being said, the rest of them ain't nowhere near her level right now, outside of Bob Baffert horse. So my second pick is Tommy Joe. No one would be shocked, just like in the juvenile race, the same in the juvenile fillies. It looked like Baffert and Pletcher and Baffert, right? I know that you know that I know that it's them two, right? And so it looks very chalky, if you ask me, both of those 2 big races for the boys and the girls in the juvenile. The juvenile filly is the Steppingstone to the first Friday of May, which is the Kentucky Oaks. So this is where your favorite will come out. So the second pick, and also a top win contender, is Tommy Joe. Great price on Tommy Joe at 7-2. The third pick, well, Percy Barr ran such a great race. I mean, in my eyes, she beat Tommy Joe that time. Now, she ain't getting in front of either one of Tommy Joe or Explorer, the 5 or the 7. Maybe that's good. Maybe she could sit 3rd or 4th and take them on. She's has 2 wins from 4 starts and 2 seconds. So, Colebrook's doing a nice job, and Machado is up here. This horse is by Upstart on the back end by Super Saver. Todd Pletcher trained Super Saver? I believe he did. So Percy Barr's a nice filly. She's bred beautifully. She's got great ratings, and in terms of her breeding, she has enough speed to stay in contact with the top 2 for sure. She just got to hope that they go pretty fast up front and they come back to her. So our third pick is the old Percy Barr, who I believe would have beat Tommy Joe in that last race. And how do we round it out? Well, the horse from the rail is going to save all the ground. Arn Orchard, right? Well, Danny Gargan, I had this horse last time with Mr. Rolex and the Arms, Joe Rosario. This one's undefeated, y'all. Maybe this is a sneaky good one. Breaking from the rail, they paid $2.5 million for this one, and I have a weakness for this horse in my heart because the sire is authentic. On my left over here, Breeders' Cup, and on my right and on my left over there is the picture of the Kentucky Derby, trained by Bob Baffert, and obviously we had some shares, quite a few of them, into her, and she continues to bring a check in every couple months, so the residuals is nice on Authentic, and the babies are doing quite well, thank you very much. But the number 1 horse, Arn Orchard, the daughter of Authentic, the great Authentic, if I would, my brethren on the back end, grandsire, Danny Gargan, and Joe Rosario, my guy, right, is 22% together, and this one's speedy, okay? She's going to save all the ground, and you're going to get a Rolex ride. I'm being a homer now because everybody knew I love Joe Rosario. And she's just as fast as Tommy Joe and Explorer, right? So wouldn't shock me. She is 6-1 on the morning line, Arn Orchard. I think the filly race, like most filly races, are a little wide. This one's a little more open than the colt race side of things. So there it is. There's my picks for sure. Bob Baffert, just as a side note, does have another one in here. Bottle of Rogue. Again, Baffert, Mikey Smith, Money Making Mike is in the yarns. This one won the Debreton, the Del Mar Debreton, was 2 for 2 across this track. Again, maybe this one is sneaky good like the number 1 horse. So, again, there's a couple ways you can go in here. My top pick is the Bob Baffert Explorer. I think she, with Juan Hernandez, we'll sit right behind maybe the one in the 5-horse Tommy Joe, and then smoke them at the top of the lane. But equally as Tommy Joe, you give her a little more respect. Let's see how she does again around her second time, around 2 turns. The number 5, and we round out a trifecta with Percy Barr, who I believe also should get a good trip right behind the speed and see how she can come home. So for us, 7, 5, 4, 2, 7, 5, 4, 1. That's the authentic horse for sure. Or I'll throw $2 on the one horse because he's by authentic, right? Hey, go ahead and box it up again. 7, 5, 2, 1. Just like that. Let's see if Bob Baffert and Todd Pletcher own the 2 biggest races of Friday. The Juvenile race for boys and the Juvenile Fillies for girls. Both $2 million races, and both of them have implications in getting to the Derby, and of course get to the Kentucky Oaks, the first Friday of May. Stay classy, y'all. There it is. We did 3 juvenile. We're going to turn our attention to Saturday races because it is 9 of them. We're going to try to do 2 or 3 or 4 of them. I doubt if we can do them all. Very tired. But anyway, we'll surely do the classic, but we want to wait and see what happens with journalism, the reporter horse, and of course, sovereignty. So again, if it was me, I would err on the side of caution. For the health of the equine and not the fame of racing in these races. So let's see what happens there, and of course we're going to cover the distaff, which I have a huge opinion in, and of course just a pet horse of mine. I keep telling people that. They're like, what horse should I get a distaff? It's just a pet horse of mine, and I'll get to that. And of course I have a big time horse that I like, that I think is sneaky good in the sprint. So we'll get to 3 or 4 of them for Saturday, for sure. Remember to get your orders in for your tip sheets. Again, show your love and your support. Buy the Speed King of Coffee. Do those type of things if you like our content and you want to see us stay on the air. All the money that we get, we go right back into the studio. We're ready to make some changes around here. I think we're going to take all that stuff down and open the windows up a little bit around here as we move into the winter leaves and the spring. Stay classy, y'all. I think Baffert's got this Juvenile Fillies with that Explorer. That's a nice horse. 7, 5, 4, 1, just like that. Go ahead and box it up. Probably be a smart thing to do. Ain't no value in the race, other than the one, the authentic baby. But still going to be underlay and exactas and tried. So the filly races, at least the 2 big filly races, do look like they're going to be chalky. That's what it looks like.